Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. As we can see here, I've let the game run just a little bit, and we can see we're now making money. Just sort of without needing to do anything or any special things, we're back to making money, which is great for us. It's not too much at the moment, however, it's a good sign and we're going to continue to build off of that. So what I would like to do is build out our bus networks in Clearwater and Alexandria just a bit more, and then add a bus connection between these cities here, because this bridge is completely filled with people going back and forth, and I'm not too sure if all these people are coming from Bridgeport or other areas, but at least having a bus station somewhere in this area and one over here that would disperse to both Alexandria and Clearwater should help out a lot with clearing up this traffic. Alright, so first we're going to start over here in Clearwater, and if we take a look at our lines, we do have our lines that we set up before running through here. So we have one on that side, and if we click here, we have one that covers this other side, and it pretty much still gets everywhere we need it to. However, I'd like to add a third loop that just sort of covers the area down here, since this seems to be an area that's going to continue to be developed in Clearwater. And then I want to really branch out Alexandria. We still have the original bus loop, so it only really covers this inner part. Nothing up here, nothing over here, or over here is really getting covered. So that's pretty much going to be the goal. And I think we'll stay with the bus loops we currently have in Clearwater. However, here, I'd say we're okay to stick with this road station here, although we would like to add another platform for the new line, and then we need to go around and add our bus stops. So we'll bring one over to here, we'll get another one that comes down here, and then we can bring it up and through on this side. Now here we'll need to connect our roads together. So we'll just do that. And we might even just add a few more connections just to help with the future, these roads coming together, and just get a little bit more interconnectivity throughout all of here. Now we did have bus lanes turned on some of these roads, so we'll have to go through and turn those off. It's a little weird it lets you have a bus lane on a 2-lane street, but all we have to do is turn that off quickly. And I think we need to add a few more bus stops. So just thinking about the direction that this loop is going in, we'll want it to come up this way and get a little bit of this area, because this one station here can't really cover all the way out on the edge, or even some of the ones down here. So we can see now we have pretty much most of those covered. And I think that's probably it. And if we really want to, we could add maybe one more here, but I think that's just too close to our other stations. Actually, it's probably not a bad idea, because we'll get these houses covered as well. So now we're going to come in and find the buses that we want. Seems like we've unlocked a few new ones. But I still think these are probably the way we want to go for now. And we're getting close in capacity, but the running costs are still pretty close to the same, and at this point it doesn't really change much. But maybe we could, let's try out these buses. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a lot better for us later on. They're smaller, so they won't take up as much space on all of the roads. And their running costs are just slightly cheaper. They can also go, I think, significantly faster than some of our other buses. So even though it won't really get that chance too much, it'll still be able to do it. Alright, so now we have that third line in Clearwater covering most of the lower side of it. We can now focus over in Alexandria. So, as we said before, we're pretty much going to be redoing everything here. We'll keep this one just because we need that connection. And we'll just come through and get rid of all of these. I think we can still keep this one because it does connect our trams and it's in a pretty good part of the city. So to start off with all this, we're going to place a bus station down here, and this will be important because that's where pretty much everything's going to come out of in Alexandria. And this time I think we're going to do 3 loops, but the loops we're going to do is sort of in bands. So I think we'll have one cover this area, one cover the middle section of the city, and then another loop cover all the way out here. Now this one over here might not get to the train station, which is okay, because it will still meet up probably at this station, which, speaking of this station, we probably want to add some more platforms on each end. So we'll do that. But now we can go around and think about where we want our roads and how we want to place them. And we could even, just to help out, add some road connections across these tracks where we can. Don't know if it'll let us do any of that once we get out here. There we go, we can get one here, connect to that road. And I think that'll be good. And I don't think there's really any more opportunities over here to cross. Not really, so we'll leave this area as it is. And I believe we have all the roads down where we can start placing our bus stops. Alright, so we have all of the bus stations placed around Alexandria, and now we can come in and rework these routes. So again, we'll take all this, remove these, and pretty much start from scratch. So we'll follow this around, making sure it's hitting every station we want to. Now we're gonna have to go around and add bus lanes to some of these roads just because Alexandria does get pretty busy in some sections. We don't want our buses getting all kind of caught up in different parts of the city when it can be avoided. We'll go with these buses in Alexandria, the New Flyer D40. Who knows, maybe we'll see if anything good comes out of it. Get 12 buses. And we'll start again at the station here. And go up to that one. And just follow around. Now, Alexandria is a pretty awkward city just because it's really grown in a lot of places that we didn't really want it to or really need it to grow around. So we have to really make sure that we're hitting a lot of those places, which I think we are. And definitely with the two cities of Clearwater and Alexandria sort of merging, that also really complicates a lot of sort of what's happening here. So now we'll just follow this around, hitting all these stops. And there we go. So now we have our 3 bus loops in Alexandria running. And I believe we've pretty much cleared up the traffic in here before, but hopefully this helps out even more. I mean, I sure don't want to make this worse, but who knows at this point. So I'll separate these terminals and make sure every line gets their own area. And I think what we're gonna do is add bus lanes to some of the roads that need it. So right off the bat, I know that this road's going to need it, probably out until there. This road's going to need bus lanes. I don't think maybe this section does, so we might as well throw it all the way down here. This road's going to need bus lanes. It's gonna make traffic even worse, but those bus lanes will be crucial. And it looks like all these cars are merging over anyway at some point. Okay, and now the last thing that I want to do is get a bus line running between these 3 cities across this bridge. Because our main priority is to get this down so we can finally clear out the traffic in Bridgeport that we can see is backing up this highway again. And all of this is people coming to take the bridge. So I think over here we have a pretty easy and clear spot where we can put a truck station or a bus station. So we'll put this right in here. And we did pick the wrong thing, so we just need to delete that and replace it. And now what we can do is, hopefully if we just delete this and this, maybe they'll... It doesn't seem like they're going back to where they were, but we can just simply replace it like that, and that should clear it up for both of these lines. So now we have a bus loop from each one of these cities coming to this bus station. And the tricky part is over here figuring out where we want a bus station. So it seems like we have 2 loops, one that runs here and another one that runs here. So it might not be a bad idea to figure out a good spot for a bus station in this area. Alright, so we cleared out a little spot here for a bus station and we connected it, simplified this area a little bit with intersections, and I think we just need to grab this line and right before it comes to this station, just bring it over into our bus station here. And I believe everything's separated. So now what we can do is have a bus line that runs between these two stations where they can transfer people across, and then the local bus loops can then take them from there out to wherever they need to go. So we'll find the nearest road depot, which I don't know if we have one in Bridgeport. We have one over here, which isn't bad. And again, I think we'll stick with one of these buses just because they're faster and we have a much straighter highway that they'll be driving on. It'd be beneficial to make use of that. So we'll grab these Volvo ones. They're pretty cheap. They carry a little fewer people and they have a little bit smaller loading speed. But because this is a more regional bus line, we don't really need to worry about that quite as much. So with 12 buses, hopefully that'll be enough for now. We will start one there and then bring it into this station. And that's basically all we have to do, is just run those back and forth between those two cities. Check and make sure these are all good. And now what we need to do is add bus lanes to everything. Quickly, I think I'm gonna do this just so we can get a few more buses squeezed into here. But we can upgrade that to have bus lanes. And then actually we'll need to come in here, pick the 6-lane road, upgrade this to have bus lanes. I'm not too sure why this isn't possible. I think it's because of that there, which seems to fix it. So here, now we can grab that and upgrade this bridge to be a 6-lane road with bus lanes. And then we'll do the same all the way until it reaches here. So now the buses have a completely uninterrupted path between the two stations where they shouldn't really get held up at all. And that shouldn't affect the existing traffic here because it was already a 2-lane road. So we'll come back in a little bit once these buses make their way through, and we'll see what kind of effect this has and how much demand a line like that really has. So while we wait for our buses to make their way through these lines, I'd like to come back and just refresh again on our financials tab. And as we can see through the last couple of periods here, we've been consistently making more and more money, which is good to see. We can see our road vehicles increased pretty substantially. Our railroads, they increased again a good amount, and it seems like we're on track to beat this number yet again. Our water vehicles are about the same as they've always been, and it seems like our air vehicles are also the same pretty much as they've always been, just flip-flopping back and forth every period. I think that might just be a distance thing because it takes so long for the planes to fly between destinations. Maybe there's something going on there, but for now it seems to be on track with the past couple of months. And we can see our investments. We're continuing to spend, however we're still making money, as you can see in our total. Alright, so now we have our buses going back and forth here, coming across the bridge. And looking at each station, we do have some people waiting to head between these cities. So hopefully we'll begin to see a lot of this traffic coming across the bridge start to disappear as it becomes easier to get between these 3 cities. This is definitely probably the worst bridge that we have so far. This one's almost completely barren. No one's really using it. This one's pretty bad, although it could be much worse. We do need to figure out what's causing all of this, although it might just be another situation of making sure people can get in and out of Corpus Christi easily enough, because if we clear up this bridge traffic, I'm sure all this will begin to clear up as well. And it seems like the rest of our bridges are doing just fine. So at least our connections across the river are starting to work out, and that's not becoming a limiting factor in how people move around. But I think that's going to be it for this video. We'll continue to sort out our traffic issues, continue to make more money as we can see here, and just keep rolling. I think pretty soon we're due to just go through and figure out these lines that are losing us money, see what's going on, really work on how to turn these into a profit, or if there even is a way to make them turn a profit. I'm not too sure, but pretty soon we'll start looking at that, ways that we can make these more efficient and work with us instead of against us. So that's just something to keep looking forward to. However, that's going to be all for this episode, so if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.